And all right, everybody, welcome to the third episode of the Recreational Hoopers Guide to Basketball. I'm your host, Clifford Manny, aka, Right Hand Jesus, aka, Moves.com. So, and this is my co-host. Y'all can introduce yourselves as per usual.
Christian Manny, Speedy Handles.
7. We out here.
Nigga said 7. Alright, I feel it, bro. Anyway, let's get it started off early. First and foremost, before anything, let's take care of the legendary players that are gonna have their jerseys retired. Shout out D Wade. Shout out my son KG. Have his jersey retired next year. They announced it. I could go in on stories and ticket, but I'm not gonna do that because
we don't got time for that.
We don't have. That's a whole like 3 different
for that.
episodes that we gonna talk about.
Yeah.
The greatness of ticket is.
D Wade's bars alone might take.
D Wade 10 on a right. Hey man, look. At the end of the day, number 3 and number 5 will be remembered forever. Legendary, definitely first ballot Hall of Famers. KG this year, D Wade definitely soon to come. But let's get right into it. So, All-Star break just passed. All-Star weekend. It was extremely eventful.
Really good.
Yeah, it was one of the better ones I've seen
Over the past couple of years, since 2016.
Since 2016.
2016.
In terms of the whole weekend, not
Yeah.
just the All-Star game. But the past couple of years, the All-Star game has been really good with the formats. This year, let's talk about the game. And so actually, before we even get to the game, let's talk about Saturday night. So, Chris, you want to take the robbery?
Aaron Gordon got robbed.
Yeah, man.
I do not care what anyone says. You jump over a 7'5" guy, you deserve the trophy regardless. And he got 5 or 6 perfect 50s. So
in a row.
In a row.
Let's be clear, people.
I'ma just leave that
Yeah.
here.
Off the side of the backboard.
Oh, when he caught it, and the craziest
he's wound.
That's crazy.
One hand wind
The
up.
best part of that dunk was the fact that it was a bad pass. He was supposed
Yeah, I
to
was
pass
about
it
to
directly
say.
on the side. He passed on like the corner thing.
It
So
was-
the ball bounced this way
It
instead of
was
straight.
Markel.
Nah, chill. No disrespect, because that man has greatly improved this year, and we are not gonna slander him. It was just that
Great
was
dunk.
great.
Dunk.
Nah, it was a great dunk because he
Great
finished
dunk.
it. Great dunk, yo.
Great
So
dunk.
he,
That's all
you know what?
that matters.
I'm jacking. He knew what he was doing. He knew if he passed it off the corner, it would look more spectacular when he caught it. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, yeah, feel me? But
Jesus,
I'm pretty
back
sure
up
we're-
the dunker.
yeah, bro.
He got robbed.
He's
the best dunker
in the NBA, and you know what? I'm gonna just say this. I know we just sung his praises, but you ain't right, D Wade. like nah, bro, nah. And then it's just like, to say afterwards to be like, well, other judges threw 9 too.
Nah.
Your other judges was throw you under the bus indirectly, home, because there was a plan. We were supposed to get it. He was like, they said, like, Common and Candace Parker was like, yo, 2 of us were supposed to get a 9 anyway. That way he would have had a 48. That way they would have to dunk again.
Yeah.
And somehow somebody messed up. And
Who was it?
and they said we don't know who messed up, but I'm saying everybody looked at the same dude after it got,
Bro,
like,
I swear they went
clearly
like,
they had picked who was gonna throw up the 9.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough, bro.
Bro, I don't remember which All-Star weekend it was. There was a panel of judges. Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins.
Oh, wait, was that?
Kobe
Right, Julius Erving.
Bro,
07?
It was.
I'm getting one more. I think it might have been Vince.
It might have been.
It might have been Vince. Bro, when I tell you that's the most
Elite. Like, bro,
Yeah.
and
I want
yo,
that quality
bro.
judge every single time. If it's not that,
bro.
forget it.
Bro,
Forget
first of all,
because
dude T'Challa, my son, Chadwick Boseman, yeah,
on,
dude didn't even
bro.
look interested at all, bro. After
He
they
was
were like,
saying-
after they were like the Prince of Wakanda in his introduction, he was disengaged the rest of the night, bro. I promise you.
all
He
I'm
was
saying is if you're Chadwick Boseman, every dunk rating should be
a
a
10
10
because you can't do that,
any of
bro.
that.
You have no business throwing out anything other than a 10. If you're a regular human being, if you're a regular person
Oh my
with
God.
less than a 35-inch vertical leap, any single dunk is a 10 to you.
Oh my
Bro.
God.
And then, don't do, like,
Bro,
I can't
bro.
even talk about Candace Parker's credential because she one of the first,
Yeah.
female dunkers. Like, she threw that
Yeah.
thing down.
And
It was a
she
little Statue of
hooper.
Liberty, but she a hooper too. So
She a hooper too.
her opinion good.
Yeah, I was gonna say anybody. You saw the hairstyle Chadwick had, bro. Anybody with that type of hairstyle cannot
I'm
even
sorry to
judge
flame you,
anything
like,
about
can't judge
basketball,
anything,
bro.
Like the fact that he just wasn't spitting out 10 is disgusting. I'm pretty sure he gave somebody an 8.
He did.
I'm pretty sure he was one of the dudes that gave Dwight an 8.
Like Common gave 8. So
Yo,
nah, bro.
Common gave 8. Yo, you know what happened in that movie Common where he was a basketball player and Queen Latifah was his girl?
Oh, I remember.
When they photoshopped him dunking over people?
Yeah.
What's it called? Just Right? Yeah! Yo, he got him really thinking he know what a dunk is, bro. Just because he was in the show with D-Wade, Dwight Howard, all these real athletes, he like, yeah, I know what a dunk looks like. No, you don't, bro. If you're a regular human being and you're not one of these professional athletes, everything is a 10. You feel me? Everything has to be a 10. But that was the slam dunk. Talk about the 3-point contest. You feel me? You gotta go hit something?
Hold on.
Alright, he'll be back. But I'll start up about the 3-point contest. What happens is my son Davis Bertans. You know, I just feel as though he is the best shooter breathing air, right? And
Bertans, yeah.
Yeah, like
he's up there.
He's the best shooter breathing air, and I don't understand for the life of me why he didn't get it in. But I understand. It's because he had the least amount of shots. He didn't know what he was working with, and he only managed to get 22 in the first rack in the final round. And when you're playing Devin Booker and Buddy Hield, that's not gonna cut it, man. Bertans, I need it. And remember, when we were watching it, I said, bro, Bert, I need at least 25 on this rack just to put pressure on him.
Just needed one of the myth do 3-point.
Myth do 3-point special ball, like
yeah,
yeah, bro. Cause he miss a bunch of them.
He missed 2 of them.
If he had 2 of those, and he was in, if he made 2 of those, if he just went 5 for 5, solid, he would have had 26. We've been solid, bro. We probably been talking about a different thing because then Buddy Hield looking at that, and then Devin Booker looking at that, like, cause I promise you, Devin Booker saw 22 and he was like, oh yeah, I can do that in my sleep, and he did that.
I don't know. All I'm gonna say is, I respect all of them for doing that because it's just like, even for like regular games, the ability to just like, oh, I'm living my life, and then all of a sudden, you gotta just make these shots here, like here, make these shots and win or lose. That's
true.
pretty much
That's a fact.
The ability to just go out there and do that. I gotta give him respect, but also like, man, all these Mountain Dew and Moneyball and all this and all that.
Take away from who actually is shooter.
Bruh, yeah. I remember hearing stories about Larry Bird.
Walking in.
Bro,
just great. You remember? Oh, nobody remembers which 2000s All-Star game Peja Stojakovic went off, bro. Talking about man.
Wasn't there one Dirk was?
Didn't Dirk win one too? Yeah,
he won
one.
Yeah,
exactly.
like
Dirk is not to be played with. He was up there all time 3-point shooters. Oh, for sure.
Larry Bird was out here winning that thing in the warm-ups, telling people who was coming in second.
I mean, you got, like, I forgot who it was that went, like, 24 of 25, and then he hit, like, 25 straight to win the 3-point contest. He was
Larry
like, watch this.
People don't understand how competitive he actually was, bro.
Yeah.
Trash talk anybody on the court.
Man.
That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I just would like for them to just, man, every ball is the same ball. Maybe just the money balls. I don't know.
Yeah, bro, because that forces people. It's not just, oh, well, I can make it up on my money ball rack. Yeah. That forces people, like, if you really into the art of shooting, like, that's a fact. You're gonna come in here, oh, I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 at least on every single rack. And then when there are 5 racks, 4 out of 5, I'm getting 20. Strong 20. Remember when getting a score of 20 was really putting pressure on people? Getting a score of 17 used to be putting pressure on niggas, bro.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
now you gotta get, now if you're not putting up 26, you really not getting to the final.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, bro.
With like 8 racks, 8 balls of like 2 points.
2 points.
3 points.
And then they added some other thing. Didn't they make one of the shots were like 3 points or something like that because it was so far out? So it's just like they're trying to.
That was the meant to do.
That one. Yeah, but I was just like, man, you better get out of here. That and having those and a money ball rack and come on, man.
Shout out to Buddy Hield though.
Shout out to Buddy Hield.
He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, nah, he
really can't.
I'm not gonna lie, and that's sort of disrespectful because Buddy is a shooter.
Yeah.
It was just. I saw the field, I saw Bertans, and I saw D-Book. I was like, yeah, that's going to be a good final. I didn't even give Buddy Hield a chance. And that's not fair. So shout out Buddy Hield for coming out here, you know.
Shout out
People
D-Book.
were out here thinking Trae Young was about to win by a landslide. I was just like,
Trae Young came out here and put up 13.
He's a rhythm dribble. Chill.
Yeah, nah, chill.
He's a rhythm dribble.
that's what I told my friend. But anyway.
Bro, if he dribbled just before half of the ones he took, he would have been good.
He probably would have, but I noticed he also slowed it down, like he was trying to pace himself or trying to make sure he got the shots right, and ended up rushing his last rack.
He just gotta take a few steps back. He was just probably too close. That's all. You know what I mean?
Didn't he miss like both of his long balls?
Yep.
He missed both of the ones where he had to step back. So I was just like, ooh. Hey man, but look, anybody had anything else to say about the 3-point?
No, other than that it was a surprise.
Yeah. Shout out to Buddy Hield. Shout out to D-Book.
I still love you, Bertans. We gonna run it back again next year. I need my money back. Yo. But anyway, on to the main event of that weekend. The All-Star game, and I will admit, gentlemen, when they brought out the new setup for how they were going to honor Kobe, I didn't understand it when I saw the rules on paper. But, and I'm one of those people who's like, this is the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. I'll admit it. It was one of the dumbest things I'd ever heard, but as of right now, it's just like, yeah, you know, that was a great All-Star game. I'm talking about.
Yep.
The one thing that I disliked as much as I'm sure the rest of the league, if it's really pickup, like, you're not winning on a free throw, bro. If you foul me, we checking right back up. Like, I needed a bucket. I'm sorry. Like, in that moment, I was waiting for Giannis to take LeBron on to the next. I was like, yeah, bro. Because I know Giannis was taking the one-on-one shot. Like, they was like, when they were trying to hold their lead, Giannis and Joel Embiid were trying to kill people, and they were giving Kemba his shots, and then I was just like, whoa, like these, and then I was like, man, and then James Harden and them boys, it was just so exciting to see everybody really, it was a real, they arguing with the Red Bull. Chris Paul looked like he was about to start a riot, bro. I was like, oh, somebody getting attacked in the All-Star game.
Kawhi was in pure form.
He
was like, Kawhi was like, go like super Megatron mode, like
but they were there. I feel like he was going so hard because Paul George is his teammate, and he knows Paul George had the All-Star record for 9 3-point makes. But as soon as he made 8, they were like, yeah, Kawhi, you not getting the record, bro. they sending like people following him, shadowing him. Pascal Siakam was shadowing him most of the.
It was good because the way I felt, I was just like, man, Giannis's team, they're gonna play hard.
Yeah.
And they don't have the star power, but they're gonna play hard. And it turns out that, you know, it was a good game for sure. Because like what I saw, first of all, Kyle Lowry should not be out there. Let me just messing it up at the end of the game.
I was like, Kyle Lowry's out here instead of Jimmy Butler.
But back to the first quarter, I just couldn't let that go by. LeBron's team LeBron came out, you know, did their thing. They were like, yeah, we're going to win this first one early. You could kind of tell. But at the same time, Giannis was just like trying to take heads.
Giannis
like MVP form. He was looking like crazy.
Yo, Giannis came out in the second quarter like, oh, so y'all thought Team LeBron was... I'm about to.
Yeah.
And then when he had like 16, 17 points in the quarter, I'm talking about Nerf hoop. And it was like, it was interesting because I didn't know they added on, if you win that quarter, your charity gets it. So it was like you actually have an incentive to win quarters stuff. So it's just like, that's why Giannis went so hard. He's like, there's no way we're losing this. And then the fact that they played even in the third, it was just, it gradually built up. Yeah, bro. It gradually built up. It was like, yo. Yeah. And let me tell you something, man. I was also happy with the I was happy with the competitive nature. I was happy with what's it called? Oh, the first time All-Stars. I mean, nobody was doing anything too flashy. Your boy B.I., he was working through an injury, so it was a minutes restriction. Tatum was like, I'm happy to be here. I had a couple of dunks.
Donovan Mitchell was just bugging. Donovan Mitchell was bugging. But he was taking the shots, man. He
was hurting them up. Like, I respect it.
I respect that too.
I was the same thing. Even if the shot didn't feel good, I'm shooting it. I'm in the All-Star game. You feel me?
Yeah. For sure, like Siakam did his thing.
Yeah.
Man. It was just a great game.
Hey man, are we gonna talk about how Giannis was slandering James Harden essentially?
He doesn't pass. I need someone who passes.
And then when he was like, and we try to single out, we were just looking on for whoever James was guarding. First of all, James Harden on possessions he guarded, he was like in total possessions he guarded in the final like 5 minutes. People shot like like what was it, like 2 for 8 against him or something like that. I was like, you better stop disrespecting, bro. Like
he was dealing with people in the paint too.
Yeah, that's a fact. Like he was dealing like they were posting Pascal, Giannis posted him. What's his name? I'm pretty sure Embiid tried to get some too, but he did.
I'm not gonna hop on the Giannis slander train, but I will say there's a little history to Harden not being good in All-Star games. I don't think they're enough. There clearly just aren't enough strip clubs right now. Really soup up his energy, you know?
Bro,
like,
all I'm saying is
going for the game.
Chicago too cold to be throwing singles in the club, bro. Imagine going to the club and just seeing fully clothed strippers. Like they on the pole in fur mink coats, bro. I'd be sick. Harden was like, "What is this place?" That's why he and Westbrook was playing spades at the club, bro.
Some wholesome
stuff. On some wholesome fatherly stuff, bro.
Oh
that's not where James Harden is supposed to be. He's like, tell me when the All-Star game about to go back to LA or Houston.
Yeah,
I'm there, bro. I'm a show out.
For sure. I mean, Harden, man, he took so many shots he normally just makes.
Yeah, but he was missing them. Yeah. And it was crazy because,
bro, when he missed 2 free throws, I was like,
yo! When Harden missed the free throws towards the end of the game, I was so confused. But more importantly, back to your point from earlier, get this dude Kyle Lowry off the court, man.
Bruh.
This dude Kyle Lowry off the court. James Harden
hacking like
OD, bro.
Game 4, semifinals, like what?
Bro, he was going hard, bro. I drawing charges and stuff, like putting your body.
I seen one flop. James Harden tapped his.
Bro, that's how I know. Bro,
I saw him hack Harden,
and then
there was offensive foul.
He hacked James Harden, and it
fell back.
Because James did that thing with the ward off and stepped back. So but then Kyle only and then he dropped back, grabbed his arm, slapped him. I'm like, yo, that's a foul. He gets up, fist pump into the crowd, and it's so funny because right after that, somebody drew an offensive foul on Kyle Lowry. So I was like, look at karma, bro. Look at God. God don't like ugly. God was like, it's a gift for you to be on the court, for you to act like this.
I don't know what. Out there, put Trey out there. I don't
care. Seriously. You have Jimmy Butler on your bench. Waiting, bro, and imagine,
to be fair, they got back in the game with him being that way.
No, I'm not about to fully slander him, but then
that's not what we want to say. We don't care if you're there, making the game competitive. We just want to see the stars go out there and do what they do.
Which is why I don't understand why he was out there, bro. That's like, the main customer didn't come to see LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden. Who else was on the court with them? James Harden. All these stars, bro. All these stars, and then Kyle Lowry.
We would have been more satisfied with Frederico
out
there doing his thing.
Fred VanVleet dropping bombs, bro. Bro, the way Kyle Lowry shoots, bro, I'll never understand it, bro. It looked like it just happens so quick. It's like he's shooting it out of a catapult, bro. It's like as soon as he catches, like he shoots like one of those short dudes, like who gets their shot up so quick to avoid the block. Like that's how he shoots. There's no.
I respect the grind.
I respect the grind, man. But
sit on the pine. That's it. That's it.
Respect the grind, but sit on the pine. Make that a t-shirt, bro. Respect the grind, but sit on the pine.
But also with the last possession of the game type thing, the only thing is like everyone's saying, you can't win on the free throw. But if that's the case, they're gonna intentionally foul every time.
All the time. No, I understand that.
It's like at a certain point, it's just like, man, like I don't know, like maybe that last possession instead of like saying next point wins, like. I don't know, maybe that's when you put the shot clock on it and, just... I don't know. Man, I don't know what else we can do, but I like it.
I like it a lot, really, but it's just, look, at the end of the day, it's not the regular season, right? Like I said, it's pickup. It's you want to hit the game winner and then talk your smack. Like, AD couldn't even properly talk his talk because, he hit a free throw, like, okay, bro, you hit a free throw. Like if you miss the second one, we just gonna call you a bum. So like if you miss a contested fadeaway jumper for the game, people are like, but take it again. But if you make it, you're the hero forever. If you miss 2 free throws, it's just why are you even in the game? Like how'd you make the All-Star team? That's why James Harden missing 2 was such a big deal to me.
Harden missed 2 and he meant to miss 2. After the game, AD said he missed that first one on purpose. I don't know if there's a line, but LeBron the next day LeBron said it again in practice.
Bro, they're trying to take care of Team LeBron. LeBron is a genius marketer, bro. You're not about to let them slander his 2 guard. Fact.
His 2 guard.
Because LeBron the point. What you thought this was?
That was a great game, though. It probably was the best all-star game since since they didn't wear jerseys, like the same jersey. Like,
Yeah.
when they all brought their
Yeah.
individual joints, like that might have
That
been
was
like,
tough. I think they should bring that
oh,
back.
man, I wish.
Nah,
But some of the greatest all-star games of all time. AI 2001, I believe, or 2001. I forgot which one of that was.
It was,
And
probably,
then,
it was probably 01.
Yeah, man, like tough.
I'm not gonna lie, man. One of my favorite All-Star games, two of my favorites actually happened back-to-back years. It was it was the one in 2010 in Dallas.
Oh, Dallas was crazy.
The Dallas one was wild.
Mhm.
And then the very next year, 2011, when Kobe was just like, yeah, we lost last year because I wasn't playing.
Yeah.
He came out and got
But
All-Star MVP.
Melo did his thing in 2010, I believe. I
Yeah,
think
but
that's when he was going.
he was trying to take the game. I'm pretty sure he tried to take the shot for the game and he just missed.
Yeah,
but
that was it.
Yeah.
I think it was on the left hand.
Yeah, he was going for
oh
MVP.
my God.
He was going for All-Star Game MVP. He was going for
that
it.
was a tough game.
That was
a tough
2010. I'll never forget it. I'll
Yeah.
never forget it. D-Wade was going crazy.
game.
Rondo
East was
game
killing it for a while.
Yeah, bro.
East was killing it for a while,
Wow,
man. It was just
bro.
like,
And
We was mobbing the West. We was coming in there just really putting it on them.
but it was always good. Like, it was, man, good games. Good games.
It was always good energy, good games, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's All-Star, man. But I don't want to, get stuck on one topic for too long. So moving right into the next one, what I will say is, Young Bull, talk about the top 5.
Well, yes. CP3's. Oh, how would I call it? I guess you could call it a rebirth.
Resurgence. Word.
To point guard superstardom. I think he is now a top 4. Should be considered again a top 5 point guard in this league this season. Let me be very clear about that. This season there are 5 top point guards, and they are Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, CP, Kemba, and I'll just say Kyle Lowry for now. I was on the fence about Fred and Kyle. What do y'all think about that?
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. I respect it. I'm pretty sure you know why I'm gonna stop you. A couple of reasons. One, I don't have CP above Kemba, but I understand, the bias. But I also don't have Kyle Lowry in the top 5 because LeBron James is essentially the point guard of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Correct.
And he's the only person in the league averaging a double-double with assists. So I have to, if we're talking about point guards, LeBron James has been the best point guard in the league, right? If we're doing it like that, in terms of just position you played your whole career, it's been Damian Lillard. So, let's just say 1A Damian, 1B LeBron, and then for me it's 2, of course, it's Russell Westbrook. Then the third, I'm gonna Steph injured, dude, what's his name? Kyrie is that person. So I'm gonna go Kemba third. I agree. Chris Paul definitely top 5. So I'm gonna throw him 4th. And for me personally, man, in terms of impact, there haven't been a lot of point guards who impact their teams winning as much as what's his name. Not winning, but just the overall energy surrounding his team. Ja Morant, bro.
John Morant.
Yeah.
Sheesh, he might crack top.
As a rookie, bro.
Crack top 6, maybe.
He brought a
top
different
5.
type of energy to Memphis.
Bro, all I'm saying is, look, Ja Morant can hit an outside jumper. I've seen him do it, shooting 50% from the field. Look, if Ben Simmons was where Ben Simmons was supposed to be, there wouldn't be room for Ja. It's just there's a lot of injured point guards, and in terms of what they're really doing for their squad, I can't really I love Lonzo.
John Morant has his team in the playoffs.
Yeah, he has his team in the
so-
playoffs in the West. I'm gonna give him his love, bro. I'm gonna give him his love. And in terms of other point guards in the West, think of Jamal Murray a point guard, but he's not a point guard. Jokic is the point guard of that team.
Yeah.
And it's just Patrick Beverly is the starting point guard on the Clippers.
But he's not
Mike
the
Conley
point
hasn't
guard.
Mike Conley hasn't been it.
At all.
And these are playoff teams. Then the point guard on this DeJounte Murray, is he still I feel like they alter him
DeJounte
with
Murray, he has good nights.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Beat, I forgot who they beat last night, but man, he'll have his games. He goes off, but he's not up there in terms of top guards.
Exactly. But you see, and then the Heat, they're starting. I don't even know who their starting one guard is. Because
Essentially, say Jimmy Butler sometimes.
It's supposed to be, but they run their offense, especially now through Bam. He's the main focal point. If you look around the league, there's not a lot of people who are playing the point guard and running it that efficiently. I understand putting Kyle Lowry in there. I just wouldn't put Kyle ahead of Ja. And you could say he has the better record by far and everything like that, but it's just like he also has the vastly better team, and he's in the East. So, 7, your thoughts?
Well, couple things. One, definitely got to give it up for Ja. He might have to crack top 5 too. I don't really know who I'd put him ahead of, but man, Chris Paul also just man, these are tough teams, man.
Yeah,
When
man.
it comes down to it, like I've never seen like with this Golden State era, like there's been a great distance between the best team and the worst team. Now it's just like they're
all really close,
yeah,
bro.
even like the bad teams like the Suns are still like
they can still
much
make
better
it.
than Suns of old. And like Grizzlies came out of nowhere. OKC, everyone thought OKC was like dead.
Oh, 14.
Bro, yeah, they had them at 33 wins for the season, and they're at 34 wins right now, and there's still 30 games to go.
We're
So
6th seed.
yeah,
We're
like
right
so.
behind
Shout out
the
to you if
Rockets.
you took the over on that at the beginning of the year. But man, like
wish I was better
there's
at
so
that.
many like great teams out of there, and they're on the shoulders of John Morant. They're on the shoulders of CP3. They're on the shoulders of Luka Doncic, who's basically their point.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the point guard position or just the facilitators on the teams, like man, like shout out to them. Like they're pushing their teams. Like OKC right now is just like they're one of the best records in the league probably since in 2020.
Since December.
Memphis has the best record in the league since our top 3 records in the league
Since the new year started.
Since the new
It's
year, like
crazy.
they're going off right now. So when it comes to point guards and stuff like that, like yeah, Dame for sure. I mean now that he's injured, but we're expecting him back in a week or a couple weeks or so.
He's out for like 3 more games.
I hope everything goes well with him, but man, he's putting himself in a class of his own as
Bro,
like,
he just
in terms
moved
of like
himself
position.
like up a tier.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And now it's
Yeah.
up to I'd say it's up to like Steph to come back and like really remind us like look,
Man,
like you were supposed to
gotta-
go off this year and put up absurd gaudy numbers, didn't do that, and
Got injured.
yeah, and that sucks. But
First of all, we
he
gonna
has to
stop
come-
saying he got injured.
That's
Right?
the
He
one.
got put on the bench. He got shelved. Okay?
I don't know, man. I don't want to just make it. Like
I'ma make it.
Gordon Hayward seems
Has
to
the
have
same
had-
exact
Hey,
injury.
It seems. On the off shooting hand, Medical. It seems that way. We don't know
He
the
came
actual.
back in like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Steph's
So, I
been
don't know
out
what-
for almost 4 months. He's
Yeah.
fine.
I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna like.
But and I figured out why they did it though. Sorry to take us off topic though. I figured out why. It's genius, right? They held him out for a long period of time, right? Because now if they bring him back too late after being so trashed the whole season, outside world, outside noise starting to come, why would you risk the safety of your star? You should just shelve him. So now the idea that they already had when they realized they were going to be bums is now the idea that the public is promoting as acceptable. When before, if they had just announced, yeah, we're shelving him for the whole season, everybody would have come out in outrage like, that's soft, bro, that's soft. But now that he's been out for so long, why risk 2-time, 1-time unanimous MVP? It's calculated, bro. They smart, bro, because now the narrative is going to shift. Like, we don't even want to see that. Like, I already started seeing it on a couple sports
What
networking
if we
outlets.
get the young boy out of he's not with Memphis anymore. Top pick in the draft for 2020. I forgot. Is it James Weiss?
James Wiseman?
Wiseman. Like, what if they get him? That would be pretty nasty.
Bro,
But
the
either
crazy-
way, like Steph has to come out and bring it. Kyrie
Just
has
to
to come
assert
out
his
and bring it.
dominance.
We're not talking
All
about that,
these
bro. Stop.
all these guards have to step it up. Like, I mean, we're seeing Trae Young come out here going crazy.
Yeah.
Gillies Alexander come out crazy. Like he's more of like a shooting guard, but man, he can facilitate too. Like we're seeing all these guards around the league like going ham. So yeah, for sure, they gotta reassert themselves. Like Russ is on a different level. I'm putting
yeah.
Russ with Dame, and then there's everybody else.
Fact.
It's Russ, it's
Fact.
Dame and Russ. and then it's everybody
about
else.
it right now.
Honestly,
on
those
their-
are the only two that
They're
matter
on
to
a
me.
tier. Like they're on their own tier.
Yeah,
right
they're on
now.
their own tier, man. The rest of these people is some.
Get out of the way.
They're just not their tier.
They're not on the same level. So man, like for sure, like the top 5, it's hard to say, but when I'm thinking about it, like Damon Russ for sure, Kemba for sure.
Forgot, bro.
Well, positionally, like yeah, I mean yeah,
If you're going positionless,
Positionless, yeah.
Nah, I'm saying LeBron is the point guard on the list. Like, if
So
even
we're
if
going
you,
facilitators.
no, I'm
He
not
is-
even
he is
thinking
the point guard.
facilitators. I'm saying point. Look at the team. Who else is the point guard
He literally
on the
is
Lakers?
point
He
guard.
brings the ball up every
Right.
single possession. It's
true.
not like
Yeah.
Giannis, because you could say positionless basketball with like Giannis, Siakam. All of them are that type of breed, but they have a point guard to alleviate the ball handling pressure. LeBron is essentially the only perimeter ball handler that the Lakers have, which means you're the point guard, bro. That's exactly it. Like, this is not a situation where even if he's listed as a forward, he brings the ball up. Like, I don't even.
Yeah,
Like, he literally brings the
yeah,
ball up. When he's on the floor, he brings the ball up.
pretty
Bro.
much.
He's the point guard.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, he definitely is. And if that's the case, like,
It's LeBron. Like,
it's
you can't.
LeBron and then there's everybody else. But when it comes, yeah, but it's LeBron and then there's like
Damon Russ, then everybody else.
Yeah.
There's Kemba, there's Chris Paul, and then there's Kyle Lowry too. Because I'm not gonna just discredit him.
No, I
Kyle
can't.
Lowry
I put Ja ahead of him because I just like what Ja is doing in the West with the
He's
younger
just more
girls.
exciting.
And he's more exciting, bro.
Yeah.
I like to see
He's more
people get put in the rim.
Young.
I don't like to see
Yeah.
flops and offense. Like,
Just
I mean,
got
unless it's
little
for Marcus
layups.
Smart, like.
And Kyle Lowry's obviously he's a bulldog too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just John Morant does it in a flashier, more
Exciting
like,
way.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
exciting. way.
John Morant's a dog who will talk
It's
smack,
more
and then it's
electric.
just like
Yeah.
he'll put you on Sports Center top 10. Like, Kyle Lowry will talk his smack, and then he'll end the night with 20 points, 7 assists,
and draw like
5
four
rebounds,
offensive
4 offensive fouls, and the win, which is
win.
acceptable. But you might see one half a highlight of him hitting an open 3.
Exactly.
Like, John Morant is the highlight of the team. Like, you're gonna see at least 5 moments of John
Walking
Morant.
highlight.
Any Memphis Grizzlies, he's a walking highlight.
And we didn't put Trey in there, but
They lose too much.
Yeah.
Like I said, impact. Like the whole reason we bring up Chris Paul as high as he is because of the impact he had on OKC. So I'm not about to just only do it with numbers. Like, numbers do matter. You know what I'm saying? Chris Paul's numbers are respectable, but also it's the numbers combined with the floor
impact.
generalship, the impact. Because you're a point guard, that still means something. To me.
Literally the
If
brain
you're a
of the
floor
team.
general, you're exactly.
yeah.
The
brain
brain
of the team.
And I'm not gonna lie
Brain
to
of
you,
the
like you look around the league, there's no one better that does it than Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
It's just point blank period. Like, I was watching that Denver game, man. Like, he was not only was he leading the floor, setting it up before walking up the court, and then as he has the ball, running the play. Then when he doesn't have it, he's still directing the play.
He's still
Off ball movement, setting back screens.
Bro,
Just
every time.
beautiful basketball. And I think Dennis Schroeder and Shai,
Shai.
like, oh my gosh.
They're learning
Compliment
so
him.
much.
Yeah.
They're
compliment
learning
him
so
really well.
much, and they're playing basketball the right way over there. Like, they're
Every
literally doing
time
what they have to do.
Chris
So.
Paul stepped off the court. I'm gonna be honest. That's when Denver went on the run and
Exactly, yeah.
made the game close again.
Yep.
And when OKC was playing without Chris, it just looked like
Young
you walking into an LA Fitness.
Oh God.
Yeah, Jokic,
Like,
Paul
I'm not
Murray,
gonna
you
lie.
bring it up, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But man, shout out to Chris Paul because he's doing his thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there might not be a better point guard in the playoff. Like, we watched him 2 years. Oh, was it 2 years? Yeah,
What,
2 years
when
ago.
he was Golden State?
Almost
Have
beat-
his best game
Yeah.
of his life, and
Against
literally
the-
looked like the best player, like best point guard.
While
on the
also
planet.
clowning people. Like, I'm talking about shimmying up and down the court, looking at Steph, bro.
Yeah.
I was so
Bro.
confident the Rockets were going to the finals
And
that
then
year. It was
his
crazy.
hand-
And then his hammy gave out.
I
His
was
hammy
like,
gave out. And you know what? It's because God doesn't like ugly. So when he started doing all that, God was like, all right, taking it. But,
Shout out to him.
shout out to CP, man.
I would not want to see them and then in the playoffs at all.
And bigger shout out to CP for this simple fact, man. A lot of people, including myself, was laughing at the contract he got because I was like, the Thunder can't even trade him. Like when the trade for when they traded him for Russell Westbrook, when that happened, I was like, man, Thunder really looking like sad right now. I feel bad because no one's gonna want that Chris Paul contract, and for a while nobody did
Until he proved
until he
was
proved
worth
he
yeah.
was worth it.
it.
And,
'Cause he's- who would've
and they
thought,
asked
bro?
him. They asked him, would you They asked him, like, would you restructure your contract to help the
For
team? He was like,
what?
what? No. Like, and
Bro,
real stuff, man.
You had it all wrong, man.
And
you
then
had it all wrong.
no,
He's worth every
He's
single
worth
penny.
every single penny. I'm so
He
sorry
might
for
not
him.
be
He's
getting all the
34.
shine, but
Bro,
they're hooping.
what happened?
34
They're
years young.
hooping, bro. 34 years young, man. Shout
Yeah,
out to
that's
him.
different
And he's
out there.
aging gracefully. And it's just like, because he has so much, because he's training everybody and bringing them up with him, it's like, it's not all on him. So he manages to conserve a lot of what he has left to be the Chris Paul we remember in the fourth quarter, which is why he's the #1 clutch player in the league this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to show for it, now OKC's 6th in the standings. Like, we were wondering if they were gonna, make it
Crack
to playoffs or
top 8.
yeah, like
I was
they're-
like, are we
they
aiming
have
for
a
the
chance.
lottery? I was
That's
No.
the thing. They're not too far.
Well, you're a
behind
Thunder
Houston
fan.
either.
You never believed it. You feel like they're at a game and a half behind Houston.
Yeah.
One
Game
something
and a
like
half.
that. Game and a
Yo,
half.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. If OKC finishes the regular season with a better record than the Houston Rockets, I'm gonna say this right now.
Sam Presti.
Sam Presti. I want the apology has to be as loud as the disrespect was.
God.
Fact.
Like he needs all, but also I don't want there to be a cause for. Oh, now we have to slander Russ. No, I'm blaming everybody else but Russ. You try to slander Russ. I'm not slandering Russ.
Russ's fault.
You know what's crazy? I don't know whose fault it is that OKC wasn't successful, but it wasn't Russ and it wasn't Sam Presti. I'm gonna say that.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. We're talking about it now, but I'm predicting that the Rockets going straight to the top 3 for the rest of the season. They have a decent, like just an average schedule, but now that they're rounding it out healthy, James Harden getting, coming back from All-Star, hopefully getting out of the slump. They going
also
full.
Jeff Green and DeMar
Exactly.
Which are great picks.
No, they tripled down on their thing. They didn't go out and try to find just a lanky bit. They were like, nope, more wings, more big wings, more small ball,
more Russell Westbrook at
more,
center.
yeah, more Russ at center, more 5 out, more. It's crazy.
They're gonna be tough, man. So they're gonna run through teams the rest of the season. I think they're going on a run. So I think Clippers and the Rockets end up 2 and 3. So I don't know. We'll see what Utah's doing, but who knows? OKC might get the top 5, first round. They might see Denver. Who knows? So
I feel it.
And they beat them 2 nights or last night. So
I feel it.
yeah, man. Shout out to them.
Shout out. But I'm not gonna hold it too long on this anymore. I'm pretty sure we got all our top 5s, out the way. So time to the coup de grace. It's the second half of the season, people. So a lot of our thoughts should be gearing towards the most important part of the season, which is the NBA playoffs. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're starting to see some of these matchups, sort of pan out. Yeah, they're starting to take mold, take shape. So, Seven, what are your thoughts on how the matchups are looking at? If the playoffs started today, what are your thoughts on the matchups?
All right, so like we were saying before about OKC, so OKC right now, we'll start from the top. So, obviously, we're looking at conference finals in the West. We're already, eyeing Clippers, Lakers, Rockets. Who's it going to be that 4th team? But right now, the Rockets are, Lakers would play the Grizzlies.
Sweet.
Denver would play, I believe, the Jazz. Oh, Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah. Dallas. That would be a very interesting. Oh my gosh, KP and Jokic.
And you know what's crazy? Sorry to cut you off. A lot of the regular season games between Dallas and Denver this year and last year have been so good. I'm talking about it's come down to game winners.
Yeah.
So it's I would be very excited the Aryan race versus the Aryan race. I love it, bro.
No, I would love to see that. 2 very well run basketball teams with offenses that rival.
Passing with passing
elite
savants.
passing.
Elite ball movement
That's
and a whole lot of
watch,
shooting,
man.
bro.
Oh yeah.
That's a great series. Oh god.
Not a whole lot of defense, but a whole lot of shooting.
Who cares? And at the same time, don't sleep on them. They're well-run teams. Rick Carlisle will have them at doing what they have to do.
In terms of if the Nuggets see the Mavericks, I'm picking the Mavs.
That's the thing. I would also pick them as an upset too. I have yet to see Denver go from, man, they're exciting to, oh, we want to win, we want to be in the finals.
Because
they just say, oh yeah, we want a long run in the playoffs. They don't talk about, oh, we want a chip. I think the Mavs are more man, we can win it all. I think Luka's over there
Luka over here.
I'm better than everybody.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. If Luka walks into a series with the Mavericks, I'm looking at the court, I'm looking at who's guarding me. I'm you putting Will Barton on me? Sniffing blood. You putting Torrey Craig on me? What? You putting this rookie Michael Porter Jr.? What? I'm about to cook. And the whole killer is Luka, much like a James Harden type player, LeBron, Luka going off, which doesn't necessarily mean just scoring a lot. It means ending up with a triple dub.
Yeah.
Him going off like that usually translates
wins
into wins.
And of late, Kristaps has been putting in work looking like the Kristaps of old. And that's scary. If he gets his mojo going, man, the unicorn Dak, ugh.
In the playoffs against Jokic.
Oh my gosh. So that's definitely a round that very exciting, first round matchup. The 3 and 6 at the current time would be Clippers and OKC, and OKC has already beaten the Clippers this year, I believe. So
it's gonna be like how the Clippers were playing the Warriors last year. It's gonna be a competitive series.
yeah, I exactly.
I think anything can happen.
There's a clear favorite, but I also think that the feistiness of OKC and just how well they're put together, like they're gonna have to prove it. I believe that for sure. Like they're gonna get one at home, at least one.
Yeah.
But I want to see what. Man, it's gonna be tough. Like you're talking about Shai and
I think that would be a 6-game series.
I think going up against PG and Kawhi, that's tough.
Now I think about it this way, right? Because they're a team built around their perimeter, their perimeter guys.
Like, yep. OKC.
But I've noticed this year, which is weird, it's just teams that are perimeter oriented have given them struggles, which is weird considering like we played them twice this year. We gave them problems the first game in LA, and then once again problems in the victory in Boston. Then you look at
gave them issues.
The
Hawks
Rockets.
gave them issues.
The Rockets.
The Rockets have been beating them.
Like they lead the series right now. But I'm saying
convincingly, like,
exactly.
Not that they're
not
favorite,
convincingly or anything. But I'm saying
you believe that can work against
exactly.
them.
And
that point.
OKC to a lesser degree because I don't want to disrespect them because they play extremely hard, but to a lesser degree because it's not like James and Eric Gordon and Russell on the perimeter. It's Chris Paul and Shea and Dennis. That's how they run it. So, but it's still the threat of that many ball handlers that seem to give the Clippers trouble, which is weird because their whole thing is just you have so much perimeter defense. This shouldn't be a problem. Like the Clippers actually do very well when they have to guard bigger teams, right?
Yeah,
because they swarm exactly. But that's what I noticed.
In front of their man is a different story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
I think that'll pick up in the playoffs, but for sure. I'm when OKC is on a tear defensively, they can beat anybody.
And exactly.
So I'm not looking for them to go off offensively and each of them drop 30.
But that's the kill.
They're gonna
we're not gonna
dirty it up a little.
We're not gonna flash you. Like we're not gonna show you a bunch of highlights and stuff. We're gonna go in there.
Get it out the mud.
Exactly.
But the OKC is one of those teams that plays like that all the time. Like so, it's like the switch to playoff basketball. It's not really gonna be a switch for them. The slow down, the grind it out, the always play hard. This is who they are. And then here's what I say about teams, right? Like the NBA playoffs comes down to your defense and your superstars, right? Because your defense usually makes games close. And like I said, the talent might be in the Clippers' favor, but you play hard, you keep a game close, and you trust the number one clutch player in the league, you're in a lot of those games. I don't care what anybody tells you. Like I'll take Chris Paul taking one over Pat Bev any day.
That's the thing. At a certain point, it won't get to that. They'll just put Kawhi on CP and
but
have that.
The Thunder won a lot of the action we run, a lot of the 3-man weave at the top because they can. So a lot of times you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
So it's like either you're gonna stick to your man or you're giving up an open 3 somewhere. Because somebody gonna get messed up on that 3-man weave at the top.
You don't want to give that up to Dennis.
Exactly. Dennis Schroeder has had a habit, and Danilo Gallinari. He's their fourth one on the perimeter. Like that's great. Like it's a tough.
Our 5-man lineup best net rating in the league.
No, exactly. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like I got a lot of respect for the Thunder, and I know whoever. If I'm a top team, I'm not looking at the matchups and being like, oh, I want to see the Thunder. I'm trying to see the Grizzlies, or if I'm the Clippers. The Clippers have been handling the Mavs this year, I'm pretty sure. So, like, if I'm the Clippers and I see the Mavs, I don't mind. Because it's just, like, the Mavs run through Luka.
Their perimeter.
But it's not just their whole perimeter. It's like Luka. One, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not.
He's a wing.
Exactly. So Kawhi and Paul George are going to take turns. Everybody, Marcus Morris, like, it's just going to be like, I guess this is a good little warm-up for us to guard LeBron, but it's like, he white. So it's like.
But that 3-6 matchup for sure is going to be interesting as well. And then Rockets, Utah. This might be, it's interesting. Normally, 4-5 matchup is supposed to be the one that you're like, oh man, this is going to be great, competitive, all this and all that. But at this point,
it can't go either way.
It's historical. It's like Harden's going to beat the Jazz. Harden's going to beat the Jazz. Bro. And now that Russ is there to back him up.
No, and that's the craziest part.
For Harden to back Russ up, it's not really going to be competitive. In my eyes, it's not going to be competitive. We saw what he did to Rudy Gobert the other night. So...
say what you were saying, Chris?
I mean, see, we say that, but I don't know. Historically, the Jazz just have especially going up against Russell Westbrook, they just have this thing where it's just like, oh, we're gonna win against you no matter what. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
No, it's the racism.
Uh,
They hate that Russ is so real and raw, and then he told that fat white man who was a racist, like, I swear to God, on my mom's life, I'll beat you and your wife up.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
yo, I'll beat up you and your wife. Absolutely, bro.
Bro,
I can't say what he really said because I know my parents go watch this. But, I'm gonna F you up. You
line,
and your wife.
No one on the court
one
is seeing Russ face
Going
to
on
face.
exactly, bro. So when they
man,
get to
Russ
see
is
him in the
a
playoffs,
bully,
they
bro.
just say all their racist slurs and they beg their teams to beat him because
I just don't know who they're gonna put Gobert on, and
they're gonna put
They try-
Gobert on
can't-
Russ because Russ is the
if they're
center.
gonna try that again, then
And they did it.
bro,
Bro,
riddance, they'll be out in 5 games.
Gobert
Putting
a little light in the
Gobert
tail
on
to be guarding Russ.
Exactly, and that's scary because Russ is 6'4",
Yeah,
and that's your center who's like 7'2", long wingspan.
What Russ
So-
say? He ain't no different. He just a little bit taller. He ain't
Yeah.
no different.
So when it comes down to it, outside of that 1-8 matchup in the West, that Rockets Jazz might be the least competitive
Probably.
out of the 2-7
I ain't gonna
and
lie to
3-6 matchups there.
If the Rockets
I mean,
see the Jazz, it's a sweep or 5 games, and that's
Yeah,
no
that's-
disrespect to the Jazz. It's just the Rockets.
They haven't been
The
showing
Rockets
it this
have
year either.
mad space in their heads, like it's rent-free space they have living in
they're
the
gonna have to
Jazz
prove
head.
it.
Hmm?
They're gonna have to prove it. But now going out east,
You know the vibes.
man, I don't even know. who's
Hey,
in
look
the
at her,
spot.
bro.
I got it. Milwaukee would see what's it called? Charlotte.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
They're in the
I
8th
think-
seed this year?
Charlotte not
Nah.
8?
Charlotte's
I thought it
not
was
eight.
the Nets.
The Nets fell. Well,
Yeah, the Nets are still.
oh, it's the
no,
Magic.
Orlando.
My fault.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
can't believe Brooklyn's still in the playoffs. Oh my gosh,
Facts.
it's
bro. Because
terrible.
after the 6th seed, it's just losing records. You could be a loser and end up in the
Bro,
first.
just give your spot up.
Either way, the Bucks are going
Sweep.
straight to the second round.
Yo, Bucks in 2.
Toronto is going
He
straight
said
to the
Bucks
second.
in two.
Toronto. So at the current standing, for just to be fair, Milwaukee would in the 1 spot obviously would play Orlando. Orlando is one of those teams that they're going
Sweep.
to play hard as well.
Sweep.
I just don't see
Sweep.
them winning a game.
Sweep. Let's not even waste time on that, bro. Sweep.
Toronto having a great year. Again,
Sweep.
They're playing They would play the Brooklyn.
Sweep. Yo,
Nets.
bro, let's not waste.
Quick 4 out.
Sweep.
So far, the East is coming
Sweep
with
in the
mid-game.
sweep. Bro. No,
Yeah.
Giannis has a bye,
Sweeps.
and whoever
And
gets
then-
the 2 seed has a bye.
Yeah, so now it's Boston and Indiana. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie to you, like
They play us so hard. Pause. Every single time.
They're
I don't know
gonna
why.
Did you sweep them last year?
Yeah, but
it was
every
a
single
tough-
game was close. But also last year was toxic. You know why? We're not. gonna
either
talk about
way.
it.
I just can't wait to see Vic.
Vic.
I just want to see what he's gonna be.
Yeah.
Like I'm taking my. Obviously, I'm not gonna like rush him back. I'm not gonna expect anything for now.
Still,
Like, he's coming off a year and a half or so. Or a year.
I don't care. Greatness. Be
No,
great.
I expect
Hit
him.
big shots.
No.
Bro.
I expect greatness eventually. I just don't know how fast it's gonna click. So and when I say click, I mean for him to click and have his production contribute to winning. Like it's one thing for him to get his own rhythm, but will he get his rhythm with the team? Will Brogdon figure out his way around Vic? Either way, they're gonna play hard. So I don't doubt that they'll get the chemistry down. But I don't know. Boston just has too much talent for them. I think
Yeah, no, we're gonna.
that's also like
we'll out talent
quick.
them.
I think that would be a quick series.
It
I
would
would
be.
say 5.
I'd say 5, but every single game's close. But
Yeah,
at the
which
end of
is
the
probably
day,
gonna make
execution, talent would win out.
it's probably going to be the best series in the first round for the East.
I don't
Nope.
think so because
Nope.
there's Miami, Philadelphia next
Mm-hmm.
at the 4-5 in the first round. So here's the thing. It's just like you're comparing the Heat, who we view as overachieving, to the 76ers, who we view as underachieving.
Very underachieving.
So I want to see a regression to the. I want to know what the regression to the mean is going to look like. Is the Heat going to be, especially in this matchup, like, are they going to show that they can handle the size and hit shots, and just continue to play that type of, hard nosed defense, which I think they can into the playoffs against this team. Can they hold Embiid? That's going to be the number one thing for them. And then when it comes down to it on the 76ers side, it's just like, are you going to keep shooting yourself in the foot?
Yes.
If they're not going to answer any of these questions, like, I'm more so talking about the 76ers, like, Miami might sneak out of there. You know, like Miami could sneak. Even though Miami's 4th right now, I would say Philly's the favorite, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Miami actually does like sneak out, 6 or 7 game,
I can see that.
Get out of
7 games.
I don't know. It's just gonna be it's gonna be up to the 76ers. That's how I feel. I feel like they have the most talent in the East. They just don't know what they're doing with it. So I don't know. They have to stand up and figure that stuff out. But when it comes down to it, the first round, there's not a whole lot going on, except for that series. I think everything starts to really ratchet up in the second round when it comes to the Eastern semifinals. So.
Hang on now. I got a couple thoughts on the Sixers.
Yeah, do what you do, because we know it's coming.
Yeah. Nah, bro. It's just,
exactly
You stayed quiet for way too long.
I was just composing my thoughts on the Sixers, and I heard what you said. If they play up to expect, they should be the favorite. Look, Miami the favorite. Here's why, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can say this with confidence because I was going through what the Sixers are going through last year. Hate to see it, but I went through it. I was telling myself we could just ratchet it up. The talent is there to win the chip. Sometimes stuff just doesn't work. And unlike us,
there's no switch.
There's no, I'm not even going to say unlike us, like there's no switch. I was like, unlike us, like there were multiple people and stuff trying to make strides to be better. I'm saying the root of the Sixers problem is 3 roots. It's your 2 best players and your head coach. And everybody's too prideful. Or nobody's man enough to take charge of the situation of all 3 and be like, this is what you got to start doing, this is what you got to start doing. Ideally, if the coach is great enough, you do that. Your 2 best players, look, I need you here, and I need you to do this. There's no way I'm asking one of my players, I need you to start taking more threes, and he just says, oh, yeah, nah, screw you, coach. Because that's essentially what Ben Simmons did. Like, Joel Embiid tiptoeing around it, I have to be outside for spacing. Clearly a son of Ben Simmons. Instead of being a man like, look, I'm the best guy. I have the best post moves. I live on the block. I need my point guard outside. Do what Shaq would have done. He's not going to do that, bro. So I look at those 2 as the main problem. Like coaching, Joel, Ben, right?
I would probably go. Yeah, I would say Joel, Ben, then Ben.
No, I put it on.
Joel's the better player.
He's the better player.
Yeah,
so if you're the better player, you got to demand certain stuff like at a certain time because Ben Simmons out here demanded, look, I'm good enough as is. Ben Simmons walking around cocky like, look, bro, not that it's not deserved because you can average 16, 8, and 8 and be good, but it's just like this. We've been doing this. This is the 3rd year in a row we doing this now, Ben. You over here giving me your 16, 8, and 8 during the regular season and what? In the postseason you're useless again. Except this time we don't have Jimmy. Jimmy's on the other side. And you know what else Jimmy has? Jimmy is petty. Jimmy definitely remembers the Sixers playbook, and I fully believe it's the same playbook as it was last year because Brett Brown is not an upper echelon coach. He has the same plays, bro, because for the past, since he got hired as a coach, he hasn't done anything different. He does the same stuff every single year, which means the playbook is the same, which means Jimmy knows how to bust it and break it down, bro. If Jimmy sees the 76ers in the first round, I promise you he's winning that series, bro. I promise. And on top of that, I promise you he'll give Eric Spoelstra everybody the tidbits. Look, this is what they're going to do. This is what Ben Simmons want to do. We're going to come. This way we're going to go.
In the playoffs, everyone knows what everyone's doing. It's just like, what are you going to do about it? And that's the thing.
Yeah, but the 76ers don't adjust.
You have to have the commitment from the team to go out there and will your way to the victory. And you have to have the talent to do that, except like exponentially, like lead the team. And Jimmy has that.
Yeah.
Jimmy has that.
Exactly. Miami Heat culture, Jimmy Butler, Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, first round win.
That's the thing. I just believe Joel's talent could really just override a lot of things if they just if he just wants it. So.
He's by far the most talented player. Even Jimmy Butler knows that. But I also think Jimmy thinks, and I think everybody in the Miami Heat franchise, and I think we should all at this point expect it. I don't take those games that Joel makes up his mind to go back to the basket and really dominate. I don't take those as the norm. I take those as a game where he's trying to appease the critics. And then he goes right back to how he normally plays. It's just like, bro.
It was the first game.
I guess we can't keep
You can't expect him exactly. You can't expect him to do that. Like people saw his first game back from the All-Star game, like it's not the norm. Exactly. Like it's not what he practiced. I'm sure once the Miami Heat go up 2-0, game 3 back in Philly, Joel gonna be back to choking on man. And then game 4, and then Miami hits back and Joel out here taking fairy 3-pointers and Ben being useless. It's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. But now they don't have Jimmy Butler. They got as far as they did against the Raptors last year because of Jimmy
Butler.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I it's still interesting though, just because the defense that they have is just unreal.
Mm-hmm.
So it just keeps them in games. So I don't know.
That's the thing.
That's an interesting.
Last time they saw Miami, they got punished. But then again, they punished Miami in Philadelphia. But I'm saying they're a terrible road team. That's also the problem. So it's just like, if they're the lower seed, I still have no faith in them.
Yeah.
That's the kill. And everybody, like, people want the 76ers to be a contender so bad. People are like, if they can just sneak a win on the road, okay. You think other teams who actually have great road records are just going to go into Philly to lose in the playoffs? Like, that's the part that befuddles me. Like, people be like, if Philly can sneak one win on the road, they might get to the chip. Bro, do you understand what you're saying? That's to say the top 4 seeds that actually have above 500 road records have been proving it on the East and West Coast that they can actually win on the road. You're disrespecting them. And you're putting stock in the Philly team. Essentially, people are expecting Philly's going to go undefeated at home and all they need to do is win a game.
Yeah.
That's stupid to think.
Yeah, we can't keep...
You can't keep assuming that, man. So, that's why I said, if it's Miami Heat, Philadelphia 4-5, Heat in 5 or 6, bro.
Yeah, I don't think Philly even wants it with any of the top 3 teams in the East.
The top 4. They shouldn't even want it with Miami.
Yeah, like, even if they were to squeak out of there somehow, like, I don't see how they play and beat any of the other teams.
They're not beating
the way
the Raptors.
that they're playing.
Exactly,
now.
bro.
So, with that being said, I don't know if we have time for it, but let's talk about it. Like, the teams that got to come out of the East or that have a chance to come out of their conferences. Like, we all expect the Bucks to be, you have to get by the Bucks to get to the finals. The road goes through them, but let's talk about the Raptors and the Celtics. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like watching the Bucks is cool and all, but the Raptors. Man, they seem like they know what they're doing.
They do
know what they're doing.
Kawhi wasn't the only player on that championship team. So everybody in that team has the championship confidence and the championship knowledge and know-how. They know what it takes to get to the chip and win. And they have a bunch of veterans, who've been playing together for a long period of time. Like, there's only a couple of teams with strong cores and that have played together for a minute. And they could go both ways in the new style of NBA. They have a bunch of perimeter and Anunoby, Norman Powell, Siakam. They got that dude Davis. They got Fred on the perimeter. They got Kyle. They just got a bunch of athletes on the wing. Yeah. But then if you want to mess around and go big, Marc Gasol and Serge waiting in the block, bro. That's what they got for Philly. That's why they're not worried about Philly because unlike us, we don't have a big. I believe in our system against Philly, and I know how Joel plays. But them, they're like, you know what? Let's say hypothetically, Joel is like, I'm gonna put my back to the basket every single time, man. All right, Mark, go shut that up, bro. I remember when he put up 0 points against Gasol. They're not worried. They're not worried, bro. I promise you. I have mad respect for them, bro. Yeah. Especially because they're versatile. And I have respect for them because Siakam was dead injured. They've had random injuries through their whole roster, and it's just like, next man up, keep winning. And everybody has experience. Everybody knows the playbook, and it's a system, Nick Nurse, and they have full trust in a really, really good coach. So
if they want to go Giannis at the 5, they have something for that.
They have a bunch for that.
They
just put Ibaka on him.
Ibaka on him.
They put Ibaka or Pascal while also not sacrificing anything on offense because Ibaka can stretch, but Ibaka can also bang in the paint.
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy.
Contingencies for their
They have contingencies, bro. Like, with us, with the Celtics, it's like this. And, I know the truth. Are we there are teams that are well-balanced. The Raptors are just a well-balanced team all around. With us, our main power is that our starting 5 is better than yours. Because we have Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Gordon Hayward. Like, that's literally what it is with us. It's just like, we're going to punch you in the mouth because all of our guys are like that. And then the Raptors have a bunch of that too, except our guys are just like, we're going to ride for it. Like, our bench players knows what it is. Like, we get like 10, 15 points from the bench. It's a good night for us. Literally, we just played the Timberwolves, like, all the stars combined for 117 points. Four starters had 25 or more.
Yeah.
And that's how it works because that's what our talent is, and we know that. And people always talk about there's only one basketball, how you gonna feed it out. Like, the ball literally just finds who's hot, and everybody's individually talented enough where it's just like, unless this is your best, if this not the best perimeter defender on your team, it's a bucket. That's how it is. We run a lot of action, a lot of 3-man weave, so it's like we're hard to deal with, and we also play the Bucks well, and so do the Raptors. Like I said, the Raptors have a lot of versatility. we have a lot of experience guarding Giannis based off the playoff series we've seen. Everybody just gonna remember last year, but it's just like the bulk of the experience we got from him is when we went 7 2 years ago. When we didn't have Kyrie, when everybody knew how it was. And then this year, both the games we played against the Bucks, what happened? Like, they get out to their lead, we buckle down, we make the adjustment. Once we make the adjustment, it's like that. You know what it is. Like, we can play them. So it's like when people say, oh, it's the Bucks world, they're not gonna run over us. And they're not gonna run over the Raptors.
Yeah, I want to see you guys play the Raptors as well.
If things shape up how they shape up, I fully expect it to be us versus the Raptors in the second round, because it's either us or the Raptors going to be the 2 or the 3 seed at this point.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I'm not going to lie, in terms of, they're the one team in the Eastern Conference that I'm like, if we see them, I get a little just because of their depth. Like with us, I know our strength is in our starting 5. Mm-hmm. When we have our full healthy starting 5 and Jaylen Brown and Hayward and all them are on the court, then Marcus comes off our bench. So essentially, our bench production is whatever Marcus gives us. You know what I mean? Mm. And most nights that's fine, because Marcus is great for us. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only thing I'm worried about, because the Raptors is just like, while us in the playoffs, well, that's what in the playoffs your rotation shuts down to like 8-man rotation. So our 8-man rotations are going to be our starting 5, and like there's Marcus off the bench, and whoever else is effective in the series. So we already know. We already have like 6 players solidified. Like, y'all know y'all are going to get the bulk of the postseason minutes. And everybody else... The Raptors can just put out anyone. The Raptors could literally have all their starters play 25 and people on the bench come in and play like 20, 23. And it's like, it'll work because the way they've set up their team and the injuries they've gone through, everybody has enough experience where like you could throw them out there and it's not going to be like a deer in headlights. That's why it's interesting.
Man, I can't wait for that second round. For sure, like that first round, not really competitive, but the second round
about to be
the only competitive series is if we see Indiana, because they love seeing us. But God forbid we see Philly sweep.
Going out to the West, though, man, like, obviously, Houston's buckling down on the small ball 5.
Yeah, man,
Clippers are signing everybody they can.
Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer spending that cash,
if
baby.
You play basketball out there, send your resume to Steve Ballmer.
Yo, Steve Ballmer hired.
They'll pick you up.
They'll pick you up. You said you could dribble. You said the Lakers might be interested in you. Come on, Lakers, bro. Come on, the Lakers looking for a ball handler.
I'm not gonna lie to you, if you're an agent in the NBA and you're not saying that your player is wanted by the Lakers, you are not doing your job,
bro. Because the Clippers will be like, you get that call from Jerry West, like, hey, I heard you got some interest in LA, fool. What's going on?
Oh my
you know what I'm saying? Like, Jerry making all those calls, man. But
yeah, we gotta see what's going on out there in the playoffs. I want to see how. Obviously, I think the small ball thing is gonna be fun. I think that's going to be great. I think Russ is going to eat. I think Harden's going to eat. They're just going to go.
It's going to be so much fun.
It's going to look like
it's going to be so much fun watching Gobert call for it in the post with Russ on him. And then when he turns and try to do that little give me that, man. Talk about.
I can't wait to see that. I also can't wait to see what the Clippers look like, man. They got a lot of pieces right now. Like, talking about the Raptors, they have tools. Clippers have tools. They have, more or less
so
the
many
same
lineups for so many situations.
Yeah, that's a fact. But Doc is also, I know this because he was my coach for years. He likes doing that thing where you shorten the rotation. Now it's just like you look from the first man to the 15th man. It's just like, good Lord, you could start. Like, it's like you could start in the league. It's great problems to have.
It's just that I hope could be your 15th man.
He is the 15th man.
Reggie good Lord.
Doc loves Pat too much to not, like, if we're being honest, he loves Pat. Pat's minutes aren't going to... And even if Pat's minutes do suffer, he plays defense, so in the playoffs, that's important.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Landry Shamet.
Landry Shamet, bro.
When you're not getting sauced on defense, he's still in there, in the rotation, bro. And he's the young guy on the team. So shout out to him. Like, I still hasn't, he's... They're trying to find his way, and man,
he dropped 27 against something stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's still like, you got to think about it. They are stacked. They have
a shooter, man. Landry Shamet is a sniper, bro.
So I want to see what they look like. I want to see what their rotations look like. I know Doc is one of the greatest coaches in the league, so I know they're gonna have defense. I just can't wait to see what their defense looks like and their rotations, and how they figure it out on offense. But yeah, like between the Rockets, the Clippers, and the Lakers, man. That's what it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure, like, the Mavs are gonna be in there making it interesting, or I'm gonna go with the Mavs. Like I said before, with that Denver.
If it's Denver Mavs, I'm picking the Mavs because the Mavs have 2 stars. Denver
I
has
would
Jokic.
love to see Doncic go up against the Rockets in the second round or the Clippers in the second round, even though the Clippers might handle them, I think.
Nah, the Clippers would handle them.
I would love to see us play the Mavs again, because Doncic gets off versus us, and that's just going to be like...
But you also know it's a guaranteed win. It's like, I get my excitement,
Yeah.
but I also know there's no chance of us losing, so it's like, it works for me. Like, I can be excited and be like, oh,
it's like watching a movie that
you know the
watched.
ending too, but it still makes you jumpy. It's like, oh man, I'm surprised, but I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
But
But that's the thing, like, in the beginning of the year, we got hyped, man. It was just like, okay, so KD left. We have Steph and Clay. All right, KD's in Brooklyn. Kyrie and KD. All right, so now AD and LeBron, you know, Paul George, Kawhi, Russ, Harden. It's good to see, even, you know, the energies aside, those guys. It's good to see that the duos are actually out here, and you're seeing the difference.
Bro.
Like, the Rockets are not playing games. You're seeing the difference. I mean, the Clippers have gotten this far playing half their players, you know, half their stars in any game. So I want to see them, once they finally get together, I think they're going on a run too.
Bro,
so it's good to see them out there, like, you know.
A lot of their players have a lot of playoff experience. The two that they just picked up. Jeff, he got some playoff experience. DeMar, he definitely has playoff experience. So.
Yep. Covington has some playoff experience. I wouldn't call it the best, but
Covington knows how to lose.
Either way, like, they've been
it's gonna
there
be
before.
new when he wins.
Oh, yeah.
He gonna like it.
Oh yeah. I just can't wait to see that happening. But for sure, like, it's shaping up. You know, the playoffs are around the corner. 28 games away, I think, for most teams.
I think for us it's like 30 because we had 2 5-day layoffs. So it's crazy.
we have like 29 games left too. So, man, I just can't wait to see it all, you know, figure itself out. See who's gonna get into that last seed and go from there.
Heard you. Well, we coming winding down the podcast now, but before we fully wind down, I'd just like to say game of the week. So here's what it is, boys. I'm gonna start it off. Tomorrow, we will all be witness to the Celtics dismantle the Lakers. So
I'm gonna let
that's my game of the week. You know,
let y'all handle that.
Are we doing 7? Huh? Huh? You got something to say? Like last time?
So after the Lakers give some well-needed payback to the Boston Celtics on Sunday.
Payback, bro. We expected
just business
that,
as usual.
Business as usual. Okay.
Nah, that's truly business as usual. I want to see the Denver Nuggets and the Clippers go at it on Thursday. That's a game that I'm excited to see. Not because, like, you know, obviously it's like Jokic and PG. If PG comes back, or Kawhi, that's always great to see. But man, like, I want to see how these standings shake out. I want to see, like, man, if Denver can get this W, they're in business. Yeah. They're in business. I don't know what the tiebreaker situation is for them or whatever, but obviously inter-conference games mean a lot. So, man, if the Clippers beat them, you know, they're in play for that second seed. If not, you know, who knows what happens at the end of the year. So that's definitely my game of the week. Denver coming into form, Jokic going off, losing weight, and upping his points per game.
Yeah, bro.
20 to 25 pounds and a couple buckets later, Jokic looking like the best.
He went from averaging 15 points to like 27 points.
Yeah, like that's
crazy.
It's not something easy to do.
So he played himself into being himself again, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
People were like, "Oh, he lost. He's too fat." He's like, "Give me like 30 games."
Give some time. So yeah, that's definitely my game of the week. Nuggets at Clippers.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Bucks and Raptors.
Tough.
It's a good game.
I need the Bucks to lose, like I said, but then again, I wouldn't mind if the Bucks beat them because I need the Raptors to lose too. I'm trying to get that 2 seed, man.
Pick your poison, bro.
I don't know. So it's a win-win for me that day, but you know, this is the Recreational Hoopers podcast. Oh, before I even forget, y'all see the merch? Yep. Trading plays, you know, the t-shirts.
Buy yours today.
You know,
follow at Manny Industry on Instagram.
You know,
Gotta get yours today.
Yeah,
Oh, here
that's
it is.
a fact. That's
Gotta
a
get
fact.
a clear view.
Yo,
And
show
we
the
got-
people,
we
bro.
got- we got
Show the people.
black-
We got it in
black
black,
and
bro.
gold,
You
bro.
see it?
It's so
You
tough.
see the
It's
vibes.
so tough.
You
Seven,
know the
look at this
vibes.
greatness,
Look at
bro.
yo, Seven.
Nah, it's fire, bro.
Yo,
I
you
have,
know the
one.
vibes,
I have
bro.
one, so I know.
Bro,
so.
when you hooping this,
Yo,
trust me.
buckets.
Fact.
Buckets.
Straight buckets. Bro.
Walk into the gym, I don't even break a sweat. 50 points later. Yo. But anyway, you know what it is. Trading Plays. Follow Manny Industry on, Instagram. You feel me? And for those of you listening to this on audio, I know you can't see the shirts, but don't worry. The YouTube channel with the episodes and videos will be dropping in March. So everybody be on the lookout for that.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate the viewers. We appreciate the love we got off the first release.
Love
Everybody, love y'all, man. So until next time, this is the Recreational Hoopers got the basketball. Yep.